Hey family, friends, and followers, welcome back to my channel. This is Maisha here with my week 8 update. It's hard to believe it's 8 full weeks since my bilateral mastectomy for invasive lobular carcinoma, breast cancer. So I am feeling physically a lot better, not 100%, still not feeling quite like myself, but honestly able to function, able to kind of navigate the world. I was excited this week. My sister and her twins came in to visit, and we were able to go for a walk on our nature trail. Natalie came and cooked us up a storm in here. Oh no, this is good. She made okra rice prelude, Salisbury steak, rice and gravy, mashed potatoes, homemade mashed potatoes, mashed from the potato, broccoli. Thank you, Natalie. And my sister also accompanied me to my bone biopsy appointment. It's about 5:55 a.m. and I'm heading to the hospital for my bone biopsy. This biopsy is considered like a minor surgical procedure, so I'll be getting sedation. The actual procedure starts at 8 a.m. Should take about an hour, and then they plan to monitor me for about an hour afterward, and then I'll be discharged same day, this morning. So I'm praying for good results, God's will. Hopefully it's benign, and even if not, we've got a plan and we're gonna move forward. All right, well, I will see you when I see you. Good morning. You ready to eat breakfast? Almost time for breakfast. Okay, 5 more minutes. And look who is sleeping on the floor in my closet. Sweet dreams. My sister's coming with me. Yay. We are at the hospital heading to CT MRI to get my bone biopsy. I did the bone biopsy with sedation. I was awake and alert, but pretty nonchalant and easygoing. It was CT guided, so I was in a CT machine. They kind of put me in, pulled me out a few times to locate the lesion and to be able to drill through the bone into the lesion. They actually had to drill through my tailbone into the lesion that was on my hip, my right hip. I was actually able to feel when they found the right spots. I felt confident that they hopefully got a good enough sample, and actually the doctors afterwards said that they got 4 good samples, so hopefully we'll get the answers that we need, we're looking for. I also had to extend my leave of absence from work because I am still actively recovering and still going through procedures such as the bone biopsy. Limping still a little bit after the bone biopsy. Actually was limping before because of the pain in my hip, my right hip, that has just been kind of getting progressively worse over the past several months. And, you know, so I'm hopeful to find some answers from the bone biopsy for finalizing my treatment plan. And this has been quite a waiting game. It's really truly been a test of my patience because, you know, I've been thrown so many curveballs, and just, you know, when we think we're gonna have clear, definite answers, you know, the test results often leave us with more questions and the need for more testing before we can get the final answers that we need. And so I am trying to roll with those punches and trying to wait calmly. But given the fact that, you know, I've had so many kind of twists and turns in my journey, I have to extend that leave of absence so that, you know, we can go ahead and finalize the treatment plan and then begin the next phase of treatment. Surgery, you know, was kind of that 2-month window of, you know, the actual event and then recovery. And now chemotherapy is an additional 3 months, 4 cycles of chemotherapy, and then radiation is still yet to be determined how long. It's good to know that, you know, that at least has been finalized, that we'll have radiation, so there are no more questions lingering about that. But now the question is what the dosage will be, how long, what that schedule is going to look like. I do know it's going to be 5 days a week. We don't know how many weeks. Also, I kind of need to know how my body is going to respond to these different treatments, these different therapies. So, you know, I want to let my body kind of take the lead, and I don't want to jump the gun too quickly going back to work and then realizing I am still not able to kind of function while going through treatment. So hopefully I'll have a better read on this over the next few weeks to a few months. My hope is to be able to get back at least part-time at some point, but in the meantime I'm, you know, taking it one day at a time, focusing on my healing and trusting the process. This week I also you know, started preparing for the transition of chemotherapy, the process of you know, mourning the loss of my hair. I kind of went through a similar process for, you know, mourning the loss of my breasts before the mastectomy, and so made it kind of a celebration, you know, trying out some new hairstyles. I also did a photo shoot to get a couple of headshots with my hair before losing my hair for chemotherapy. So part of, you know, celebrating that phase of my hair journey. It's been 6 years that I've been growing my dreadlocks. This week my daughters weighed in and helped me figure out, you know, some styles that might work well. And I wanted to do the hair loss on my terms, and so I started out with wanting to do kind of a faded dreadlock hawk, or a lock hawk as my youngest daughter affectionately calls it. And she actually helped me with cutting my first dreadlocks on the left and right sides of my hair. My goodness, wow! 6, maybe 5 years? I think this is about 5 years of growth, my lock journey. So more locks. This would be a cool, it'll make a cool wig. What I do like is the idea of having my own hair in a wig, you know? Yeah, that's really cool. I'm excited about that. So. Although this is a little scary, but we'll see. We're gonna go to Sly's barbershop. We're gonna get it all cleaned up. Archer, oh my goodness. Take it down a little bit. Yeah. 5 years worth of growth. When did I start growing these? In 20. I want to say 19. During the, I think before the pandemic. It was definitely, yeah. It was like my the year I was in principal in Boston is when I started. That's like 2019. And it's now 2025. Yeah, I think I started in the fall of 2019. So that's almost 6 years then.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, here we go. I'm gonna start a whole new journey. And then went to my local barber and kind of got the tapered fade on the side, which I kind of like how it came out.
You are at a big chapter in your life, my love, and you are gonna win.
Yes.
I know that. Yes, no, you got this.
That's it. It, came after, I think, about almost 40 years of relaxing my hair. And anyone who knows, for BIPOC women, Black, Indigenous, people of color, particularly Black women with 4C hair, 3B hair that's particularly kind of kinky and coily. There's a lot about our hair that is so deeply embedded within our identity, whether it's coily, kinky, curly, wavy, but having been through this journey of literally going back to my roots and learning what my hair texture is like, and learning to embrace that rather than assimilating into the dominant culture and relaxing my hair to straighten it and flat iron it to fit in, I found it really empowering to find who I am and recommit to owning and embracing every part of my identity as a Black woman in America. And so this has been really growing my dreadlocks has been a 6-year journey, but shifting to my natural texture actually has been, I think I started it about 8 years ago when I first moved to Massachusetts from my home state of South Carolina. And so, making that shift and going natural has really helped me love who I am. And, working on the breast cancer logo on one side, to show that, again, I may have cancer, but cancer does not have me. I'm fighting with everything I've got in me, and I'm gonna overcome. And I really appreciate all the prayers of all of you who have been in my corner and fighting this fight with me. And now, as I'm going into another phase, another season of life, this is also, I guess, fitting to be in another season of my hair journey. And, so I'm making my peace with letting go of my hair. The neat thing I found, though, with dreadlocks, there's a lot of flexibility. Like, Black hair can do some amazing things. And so as I'm cutting my dreadlocks on my terms, I'm able to save the locks. And I was talking with my loctician yesterday, and she reassured me. She said, you can actually reattach your locks once you're through with treatment and your hair starts growing back. Like through, using a crochet process. And I was just like, wow, this is absolutely amazing. Not only the advances in modern medicine, but the advances in hair technology and what can be done, particularly with our texture of hair that I've really learned to appreciate, the flexibility, the creativity that can come along. So celebrating the journey, feeling less anxious about the journey as well. As I'm learning that there are so many ways to manage and navigate these losses. And with each loss like that creates space for something new. And I'm excited for the new that is on the horizon.